Hello, hello. So, Dwayne and I were talking today, and I think we are going to try to do these little segments every once in a while. We had our counseling session today with our marriage counselor, who we see every other week. And, the first few sessions was really just like getting to know us. We've been seeing him since March. Yeah, since March. So the first few sessions was really like getting to know us, spilling your guts out, all that type of stuff. And then as he got going, he's really given us tools or homework or things to work on. And the thing with counseling is some days you leave like feeling great. You're like, wow, I got some stuff off my chest. I feel good. Some days we leave frustrated. I left once and I'm like, well, that's it. I'm not going back. And so, so sometimes you leave feeling a little frustrated. You're like, wow, you pulled up some stuff today. Some days we've left feeling emotionally drained. And then we really have had other days where like, that was good. Like we felt good today. So it's always a little different. And some sessions like really stick with us, or there might be like a really good like nugget of information that we get that day. And so we just figured it would be fun to make little hopefully short videos and just kind of recap, maybe a thought or a theme or just something we thought that was cool or special to pass along.
Yep.
So here we are.
Start the first one. What we talked about today. About really, so it's not a matter of so many times that we just want to, especially us guys, we just want to fix it. Like find out what the problem is and fix it. And it's not, what we're trying to do right now is not just finding the problem and trying to repair what that is. Right now it's also the discovery through that process of finding out certain issues or maybe just different factors, and getting closer to one another is like, hey, we can sit in this moment right here of, maybe a little bit of pain or maybe a new discovery that we both found out about each other. Like, oh, I didn't realize that about myself. And we're able to walk through it together. And it may not be something wrong. It may just be how you are in tuned. And so one of the things today was, I've been able to notice a big difference in the way that Amanda looks at me. And I can just, it's different. I mean, we've looked at each other for, almost 20 years now, but it wasn't just, how I kind of related to her is, I'm not just your husband. I can see it in your eyes that, you want me. And not just, that way, but also just like you actually want to be around me. You desire to be with me. And it's the same thing reciprocated back to her. As I look at her and I just want to be around her, spend time with her, dedicate time with her. So through some of the questions, he was just asking us questions today, or asking me questions like, why? Why is that? Why do you look into her eyes? What captivates you? And doing that and finding out, it relates back down to childhood. Most of the things are just related back to past.
You can always revert back to something like, what is it with, he was kind of pulling it out of Dwayne today, like, well, what is it about having connection with the eyes, like eye contact, like what is that for you? And really he kind of explained it to us. He's like, see, I didn't fix anything. He's like, I'm just asking you questions. And then Dwayne would think about it and kind of answer. And then he'd ask another question. And we've actually kind of learned to do that with each other. Like we've done that sometimes where you'll say something and I'll be like, so why is that? And sometimes that's all it is. It's just not trying to rebuttal it or
cast blame.
Blame or even get defensive about things. It's just like, you just ask another question, like, well, why is that? And then it's like, okay, and it makes you think a little deeper, and then you have the next answer and you're like, okay, and what makes you feel that way, or why is that? But he the analogy today was like a archaeologist digging in a site. And so I just kind of got this like visual of, you know, say an archaeologist finds this, you know, like ancient village or something like that, and they're digging. Well, a lot of times your brain wants to go straight to like, I just want to go straight to the finished product. I just want to see this whole thing uncovered and, you know, put back together. Like I pictured even like dinosaur skeleton. Like I just want to get there to the end, uncover it, put it together. And he said, you really got to slow down and be in the discovery process. And it was just funny because it was kind of like you're digging, you're like, oh, there he is. And I'm like, that's how I feel about Dwayne sometimes. Like all these epiphanies we've had and just like the change that I've seen in him. And we're able to see like parts of each other that were probably those like that passionate puppy love from the very beginning, you know, 19 years ago. And it's kind of like rediscovering parts of that, but better because we were immature and sometimes toxic. So it's like the better version of that.
Yeah.
But it's like digging through things and the discovery, and it's like, oh, there he is. And just like enjoying that part, but also being okay with it, even though it could be a little uncomfortable. So there's like good parts, positives, there can be uncomfortable parts, but it was more about like, don't rush so quickly to the finish line of just putting it all together. Like sit and be okay in just even the discovery. And I just thought that was like super cool today.
Yeah. It was a great session. We left, it wasn't uncomfortable. Like she said, we left just, nope, it was tough. It's not always easy, but today was great. It was a great discovery of finding out different parts of myself. And then we will eventually go into more. He just puts us in different situations to be able to find these different things, discoveries inside of ourselves, these aha moments. You just like thinking after his questions and you're pondering and trying to think through it and you're like, oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And sometimes it's a good oh, and sometimes it's like, oh.
Like, oh.
Yeah, but
maybe I should work
it's fun.
on that.
So yeah, we just wanted to share a little nugget today of it's not just the finish line to fix it. It's also the discovery of discovering each other, getting more intimate, of just talking things out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like a huge part of what he focuses on with us a lot is we talk about emotional intimacy and emotional safety and emotional security. And so it's like having those levels of intimacy that are beyond just physical intimacy. Like there's just like it's like that's where it's really at. And as we're in the middle of these like still like new discoveries, because even though we have known each other for so long, there's still things to figure out. And as human beings, we change and evolve like over the years, and we shouldn't just be who we were 20 years ago. And our goal has always been to grow together. And I think for the most part we have, but it still is like discovering like maybe interests change a little bit, or what you're passionate about might change a little bit, or you know, goals and dreams can change a little bit. And so it's like it's enjoying also that discovery process with each other and being okay with that part of it and not rushing to just this completion, this finish line. And maybe life is really more about staying in the discovery and not so much the end all be all, because maybe the end isn't the be all.
Yep.
So yeah, thanks for joining.
Yep.
friends.
Short little video, but yeah. Love you guys. Continue to pray for us, and we'll be praying for you guys. See y'all later.
Love y'all.